I once came across a meme which went something like, if education is the key to success, then someone probably changed the lock. Yeah, it may sound funny, but I think it represents a certain reality that most people are actually dealing with. So in this video, I'm going to provide few fundamental shifts about your view of education that are still going to keep it relevant for you in order for you to actually get to the goals that you would like to have. And so if that is something that you may like to hear about, then just stick around. Hello everyone. Hi, if you're new here, hi, my name is Simon. I'm a final year medical student at the University of Zambia, and on this channel, I help people to learn optimally so that they can perform well in their school, job, and also help themselves with rapid skill acquisition. Now, if that is something that you think is helpful, remember to subscribe. Now, let's get back to the topic for today. Now, the first question that I would like to ask you, just for you to get an understanding as to whether education is still the key to success, whatever success may be in your mind, is what is education for you? How do you define education for yourself? Now, the reason as to why I asked this question is because after you understand what education is, you are going to answer the question, who is responsible for your education? And who is responsible to determine what should constitute your education? And if you can answer those questions, then both of us can still come out of this video understanding as to whether this is something that is even worth it at all, or maybe something that we should take a step back. So you can have your own definition, but I love the definition that I get from one of the books that I love by my favorite writers. I'm going to paraphrase, but education is a harmonious development of all the faculties, that is the physical, the mental, the spiritual. So a development of a person as a whole, an improvement from one state unto the next. That is what education is. Now, if you think about that definition, then it means even exercising is education, or maybe like teaching a child chores is actually education, or learning how to speak articulately the way I'm doing right now, that is also education. But the whole point of the situation is, have you thought about education in so much of a comprehensive understanding? And maybe you think education is a degree that you get, or maybe you think education is the paper that you get after school. And if that is education for you, then it probably may not be so much as the key to success. But even if we were to narrow it down to the skills and, the skills that you learn in school and everything, really at the end of the day, who is supposed to define what you're supposed to learn? Who is supposed to make your curriculum? Well, for me personally, I think the best person to define what you're supposed to learn is the one who created you, because they understand better why they created you. So I think for me, that's just a no-brainer. God is the best person to know what you're supposed to learn. Then after God, who next is supposed to tell you what to learn? I'm going to give you a very practical example about usually what happens to most of us when we are growing up. We grow up and we go to a school that our parents choose for us. Thank you, parents, for doing such a beautiful thing as taking us to school. We really appreciate you, because maybe we didn't want to. Yeah, like me, I never wanted to go to school sometimes. Then they take you. Then afterwards, you go to secondary school. Maybe now you're given an opportunity to choose the subjects that you want to take, because now they're different. Then you choose. And then after that, you come to university and you have an opportunity to choose what you're going to do. Even if I choose to do medicine, I do not create a curriculum of medicine myself. I do it according to how the University of Zambia teaches medicine. At the end of the day, you will discover that even if you choose, as long as you are in an institution like a school, you do not have the ability to say, no, let's remove this from the course and let's add this. And that is for a very good reason. It's because, I mean, you're the one who is being educated, so it's not so much that you know a lot about what you're going to be learning. But the point I would like to give is it that all of you have the same goals? Is it that all of you are going to be serving in the exact same capacity? Is it that you're going to be providing value in the exact same way? And if there's going to be disparity and changes with that, why is it that you still want to be schooled and to learn exactly like everyone else? So remember, I started with an understanding of saying education in this harmonious development of all the faculties, the physical, the mental, the spiritual. So if at the University of Zambia they do not provide an opportunity for me to cultivate, let's say for example, my spiritual faculties, and I leave it at that, do you think I'm going to be an educated person after I graduate? Maybe I might have a degree, yeah, but I may not be as educated. Maybe they do not provide an opportunity. And by the way, this is not specific to, I'm just using it as an example. Do not provide the opportunity to develop my physical faculties. Am I going to be educated completely by the time I finish my school? Well, not so much. Probably not. And that is going to be a problem. So what I'm trying to explain to you here is school is a blessing. It's very good that we have an opportunity to learn from people who have gone ahead of us, experts to guide us about how to do specific things. But to expect that those people are supposed to provide everything that is needed for education and package it for you in such a way that you have everything, I think is not so helpful for you. Make sure that you understand what you need to do in order to get educated, and then go and search for that knowledge in the places where they can be offered. Join a community of believers for you to get educated in terms of your spirituality. Go to school for you to get educated for skills like how to practice medicine, which you can't do on the street. But then you may need to learn other things in terms of how to do other things that school will not teach you. So by understanding the comprehensive and the harmonious nature of education, then maybe at the end of the day, we may actually realize that it is very true that education is the key to success. But it depends on how you define your education. And so if this is something that has been helpful to you, leave a comment what you think about this topic and what you're doing for your education to make sure that it is actually bringing you to the goals that you had. So on your education, it is you being educated. Do not leave it in the hands of a few people, not even in the hands of school.